Insta360 and DJI make the most popular smartphone gimbals. Insta360 has just released the Flow 2 Pro, and DJI has just released the Osmo Mobile 7P, or I'll call it the OM7P. I've been testing both of these gimbals out for the last few weeks, and I'm going to share my thoughts so you can pick the right one for you. Insta360 sent me the Flow 2 Pro to test out. There's links down in the description for all these products if you want to pick one up for yourself. Smartphone gimbals are compact, affordable, and already work with the advanced technology in your phone, making them a great option for content creators or anybody that just want to catch life special moments. When you look at these gimbals, your first thought may be they look an awful lot alike, and you'd be right, they do look an awful lot alike, but there are some significant differences that I'll cover. Let me put them down here so you can get a good look at them side by side. They're basically the same size when they're folded up. They both fit easily in my pocket. It's cold out here this morning, but I'm feeling warm, and that's because of this flannel shirt slash jacket or shacket that Flannel Go sent me. It's Sherpa lined. I'm gonna see if you can see it here. I'll have to zoom in. It has a nice soft furry lining on the inside, which is great at keeping you warm. It's high quality and affordable, which is something that's hard to find nowadays. If you're a flannel fan like me, check out Flannel Go. Now let's get back to these gimbals. The Flow 2 Pro weighs 357 grams. The OM7P weighs 300 grams, and I can feel a difference. The Flow 2 feels pretty solid. The OM7P, it doesn't feel cheap, but it doesn't feel as durable. They both have 1/4-inch mounts at the bottom of the handle. They both have this next feature that's pretty cool. Check this out. They both have built-in tripods in the handle as well. The OM7 Pro tripod legs are a little thicker and a little shorter. You attach the phone to the gimbals using these provided magnetic phone clamps, and yes, they both look very similar, but there is a difference. I have the clamp for the OM7P connected to my iPhone here, and if you look right here, there's a connection point, and it connects to this multifunction module, and I'll talk a little bit more about this later. And now I'll show you the clamp for the Flow 2 Pro. The Flow 2 Pro clamp doesn't have any type of connection on here, and that's because any accessories that come with it actually connect directly to the gimbal and not to the clamp. You want to make sure the clamp is on the center of your phone. I have an iPhone 16 Pro Max, and it fits in here without any type of problem. Both gimbals can support a phone weighing up to 300 grams. The iPhone 16 Pro weighs about 227 grams, so it should be light work for either gimbal. Both gimbals have the option of using these magnetic mounts. I don't have one for the OM7P. This one is for the Flow 2 Pro, so I'll show you how this works. If you have a phone that is MagSafe compatible, all you do is connect it to the back, and you can quickly connect and disconnect your phone from the gimbal. It is really nice. I suggest using one of these over the phone clamp I just showed you. The only downside, if you want to get the OM7P, is that module unit that I showed you has to use the phone clamp to work, so you won't be able to use that and their magnetic mount. For this video, I'm going to use phone clamps for both gimbals just to keep it fair. To turn on the gimbals, all you do is attach the phone and unfold the arm, and it's all set. They're about the same size unfolded. Now I'll start talking about some differences. Smartphone gimbals basically all operate the same way. The big difference is how it feels in your hand and how the buttons are laid out. The OM7P has more of a curve to it. It feels good in my hand and has more of a traditional button layout, opposed to the Flow 2 Pro. It's more straight, has a more modern minimalist design. It still feels good in my hand, but the buttons are definitely more sleek and minimalist. There's more of a learning curve to operate the Flow 2 Pro because it's minimalist design, but once you get comfortable and familiar with it, it's no problem. A unique feature that I've only seen on the Flow 2 Pro is this mirror right here. If you're trying to record yourself, you want to use your best camera, and that's your back camera on your phone. If you use that, you can't see yourself. If you're in the center of this mirror, you're in the center of the frame. If you thought the hidden tripod legs were super cool. This next feature is going to blow your mind. Something that they both have. They both have extension rods built in, so they can be turned into selfie sticks. The extension rod on the OM7P is about 8.5 inches. The extension on the Flow 2 Pro is about 8.3 inches. And you can adjust the head at the end of the rod. Now you're all set to take your selfie. The main reason people want a gimbal is they want that nice smooth footage. Let's go test both of them out. The footage from both gimbals is super smooth. Here's a pro tip. When you're using a gimbal, you still want to avoid too much up and down movement. So keep your arm level and walk with your knees a little bit slightly bent. They both have the standard gimbal modes. In follow mode, the phone follows your hand when you pan and tilt. In pan mode, the phone follows your hand when you pan, but not when you tilt up and down. In FPV mode, the phone follows all your hand movements. In lock mode, the phone doesn't follow any of the handle movements at all. The Flow 2 Pro has a couple of additional modes. It has auto, where it automatically pans and tilts based on the movement of the handle, and there's Active Plus, where it speeds up the movement of the phone in all of the modes. The Flow 2 Pro can actually rotate 360 degrees on its pan axis. The Flow 2 Pro can fully rotate on its roll axis. The Flow 2 Pro's battery can charge to 80% in about 55 minutes and can be fully charged in 80 minutes. The DJI OM7P takes 2.5 hours to charge. I was really shocked about that slow charging time. You can get about 10 hours of battery life out of each one of these gimbals, and they can also be used as power banks, which is a nice feature. Insta360 and DJI both have apps you use to control the gimbals, and one of the biggest features in those apps is auto tracking. I'm going to show it to you now. You can use gestures to start recording, stop recording, and initiate auto tracking. So if you want to start a recording, all you do is raise your palm. So now it's tracking me. You can see the square around my face, and the record sign is on, and it should follow me around. And we'll see how far away I can go. Right now, I'm probably 4 feet away. I'm gonna walk down this way and see how it does. So I turn my back to it, and we'll see if is it still tracking me over here. Yep, still tracking me. And now I'm going to try to duck behind these rocks, see if it will lose me and then pick me back up. Okay, yep, it kept track of me the whole time, so it is really good. With the Insta360 Flow 2 Pro, it can actually track multiple people. The Osmo Mobile 7P does not have multiple people tracking. Now we'll check out the OM7P and see how that tracking and gesture control works. Now test out the auto tracking with the OM7P. You can't use gesture control unless you use the multifunction module, which I'll talk about later, but at least can check out the auto tracking. So the auto tracking is working. You can see the square around my face there, just like with the Flow 2 Pro, and we'll give it another test here. So just like with the Flow 2 Pro, I turned my back to it, walked out here, it's still with me. I'll go back behind this rock over here, see if it will lose me and pick me back up. Okay, I'm out back from behind the rock. It picked me back up, so yeah, it did just as well with the auto tracking as the Flow 2 Pro. A feature that's unique to the Flow 2 Pro is called free tilt mode. I'll show that to you now. And what makes free tilt mode nice is that if you want to do a pretty standard shot called a crane shot, you will start low and bring it up straight. Sounds simple, but it's limited by the tilt of the arm of the gimbal. So as you start to go up, kind of gets in the way and you can't get that nice smooth straight up shot. If you put it into free tilt mode, extend the selfie stick, pull the handle down, rotate, and now you're in free tilt mode here. So when you're doing the crane shot, you just go nice up in free tilt mode, nothing's getting in the way. It's going to be nice and smooth all the way up to the top. Getting the proper shot composition is important with the AI tracking for both apps. You can do that with the Flow 2 Pro. It has a mode called Pro Grid Framing, and you'll see these boxes come up on the screen. You just tap the box you want and it will keep you in frame on that section of the screen. So tap the upper right or upper left, it's going to keep you on that side, and then as you move the gimbal around, it keeps you in frame where you've selected. Now the OM7P has a similar feature, but it doesn't have those grids. You just move the joystick to the left or the right and it keeps you there. I prefer the Go2 Pro's tracking better. So as you've seen from both of those demos, the auto tracking for both gimbals is good, but that's when you're using their native app. What if you want to use auto tracking when you're on FaceTime or Zoom or any of those other apps? They both can do that, but in different ways. I'll show them to you now. The Flow 2 Pro uses DocKit, and with that, it uses the NFC in your iPhone to connect with the gimbal seamlessly. It is really nice. So it uses all the apps that you can use on your phone, which I think is over 200. So all you do, take it, hold it right over here, and it's automatically going to connect. The OM7P uses this. This is a multi-function mod, and inside here, you see here, it has the AI tracker. There's a fill light, and also it connects to the mic mini, which I use for my audio, which is pretty nice. So you would connect this to the phone clamp, and that's how you'd be able to do gesture control or to do the tracking outside of the app. The downside of using this though is that the gimbal gets about 10 hours of battery life. Once you put this on there, it drops the battery life to 5 hours, and if you start using the fill light consistently, you can drop it down to 4. So that is a negative there. The multi-module is connected to the OM7P right here, and I have this cord going here, type C to type C, if you want to use the mic mini with the multi-module. If you don't plan on using the mic mini, you don't need this cable. And there's a few buttons here at the top, and you're going to need this if you want to do gesture control or do any tracking outside of the DJI Mimo app. You can control both gimbals with your Apple Watch. You can do some basic functions like preview and adjust the direction of the gimbal. With the Insta360, you can actually use another phone as a remote to control the gimbal with your phone in it, which is nice if you have access to 2 phones. One plus with Insta360, which goes for all of their products, whether action cameras or the gimbal, is that their app is the best app out of DJI or GoPro. It has a lot of extra features. One feature that is nice, it actually has integrated teleprompter. Real quick, I want to go over the accessory options for the 2 gimbals. The Flow 2 Pro has this magnetic mount. I showed you that earlier in the video. The OM7P also has that. You can also get this light attachment. It connects onto the gimbal as a fill light. So I was showing you that multi-function piece for the OM7P. Insta360 has their own version of external AI tracker right here. It has the AI tracker in a fill light, similar to the multi-function mod for the OM7P. Finally, now for the price. The Flow 2 Pro costs $159.99 for the standard bundle, but I'd recommend getting the creator bundle for $30 more, which comes in at $189.99. It comes with the external light. It comes with the quick mount. So that's everything you really need for the Flow 2 Pro. If you wanted to get the AI tracker, if you have an Android, you can get that for $40. The DJI OM7P comes in at $149, and with that, you get the multi-function mod. I wouldn't recommend getting the magnetic quick mount for it since it's not compatible with the multi-mod. One option you may want to consider for $208 is that you can get a combo that has the mic mini with it. After testing both of these gimbals out, I recommend the Insta360 Flow 2 Pro. The only feature it can't do that the OM7P can do is integrate with the mic mini, which is nice but not necessary. On the other hand, the Flow 2 Pro has a better range of motion. It has the Apple dock kit. It has a better app and slightly better AI tracking, in my opinion. I hope this video was helpful. Remember, there's links down in the description if you want to pick up either one of these gimbals.